In Michigan, summertime means busy construction schedules, but for concrete, the challenge is even greater. Because of the highly specific temperature and moisture conditions that are required for proper curing, projects aren't just dependent on supply, they're racing against time. But this year, something changed. In one corner of the state, a new kind of concrete block plant has emerged, and it's reshaping how concrete is made. So how does it work? Why does it matter? And most importantly, will it be enough to meet the rising demands? This is the Design and Remodeling Show. Today, my dad Michael and I are going on a road trip from our office to Kalamazoo, Michigan, to meet with the team behind Consumers Concrete's newest block plant. Our goal here is to peel back the curtain and show you their process from beginning to end, and find out if this plant is truly a turning point for Michigan's concrete industry. We are here at Consumers Concrete's newest block plant in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and we're excited to tour the facility, meet their team members, and understand the difference that they're making here.
Let's go in, let's go check it out.
All right, let's go. Our day will be broken into two parts. First, we'll meet with Adrienne, president of Consumers Concrete Corporation, and their first female leader, to learn about the history of Consumers Concrete and how this original location has changed over the last century. Then we'll meet with Corey, the assistant operations manager, to learn how a concrete block is produced beginning to end. But first, it's time to meet with Adrienne.
Hello, I'm Adrienne Heidema, president and CEO of Consumers Concrete Corporation. We are here at our Kalamazoo product facility. It is our production facility where we make gray block and hardscape block, and it is brand new.
Tell us a little bit about the history of Consumers Concrete.
So our family business started around 1933. Right here on this campus, it looked very different because a lot of this, we started as a sand and gravel operation. Okay. So a lot of this site has been mined. So where this building was used to be a very large hill.
So it started off as a sand pit.
And gravel.
And you were selling that for roads and...
Exactly, the city of Kalamazoo. So a lot of the roads were built with our sand and gravel. And then my great-grandfather recognized the need to haul concrete as well. So they started doing that and started in the ready-mix concrete and then moved into the concrete products. But now we are here on this site. We have ready-mix concrete here. We have a garage facility here. We have our technical services department on this 212-acre site.
Wow.
And then our block production.
And then what about you? I've heard that you're the first female CEO here.
I am in fourth generation, but I also want to highlight I'm not the first female in the family to work here. My grandma, it was her father that started the business. So she actually, her fingerprints are on a lot of the information here. So I've been going back and reading different board reports. She kept all the minutes, and it was very interesting to see what she did. And she worked in the office, so kind of behind the scenes. So I'm happy to represent the family as a female family member now in the front of the business.
This company is in great hands in this family, and to see a fourth generation business is really inspiring to us. Yeah. You know, isn't it, to imagine like having a business that continues to grow and thrive and expand generation after generation, yeah. What are some of the unique projects that maybe you guys have used your products for? Because I hear there's like some really unique things about your concrete. Yeah, there's a lot of community things. So schools and patios and outdoor spaces, pavilions, gazebos. You think about Michigan, all the water we have, rivers, lakes, and a lot of that requires some sort of retaining wall as you're working around those areas.
So then what kind of products do you make here in this block facility?
So in this block facility, we will make standard gray block like you see in here, but also our hardscape products. So any of your landscape items that you would see to make the exterior of your homes look beautiful would be produced in this facility. So we have one block machine. It's a 6 at a time machine, so it doubles the production that we had. We used to have a 3 at a time machine here. The really unusual part of this plant is what we call the dry side. So all the robots that we have that you're going to get to see used to be by hand, and it was not a fun job. But with the robots, they push the block together, flip the blocks around, move things, stack them, and get them palletized. So there's a lot of computer programming for that part of the automation of the palletizing. At Consumers Concrete, we are always looking at new technology. Our previous facility was built in the 1950s, and while it's built out of concrete and still looks pretty good, it was getting tired and is at the end of its life. So we are very excited to be able to move all of our production for our gray block and hardscape products into this brand new facility with brand new machine and equipment. So this facility is a showcase of our products. So it is a 38,000 square foot facility. It has 50,000 of our Bella brick and split face units in this building and the exterior. More than 17,000 standard blocks, so the gray blocks you'll see throughout the facility that are now painted in here. And then 5,900 cubic yards of ready mix concrete. So really state-of-the-art floors and then exterior as well. Concrete and concrete blocks are a very old product, and it's been around for centuries, but there's a lot of opportunity for technology. And so that's what we really tried to make sure that we were forward-looking. So that this facility will not only provide the necessary equipment for now, but that we can keep adding on to as needed for production and changing our product.
Well, thank you so much for giving us the intro. I'm really excited to go out and see the space.
Yes, well, I will turn you over to Corbin Frenette, and he can give you a lot of details about this building.
My name's Corbin Frenette. Everyone here just calls me Corey, and I am the Assistant Operations Manager for the whole products division at Consumers Concrete. This is where all of our products start. So we start with our 2 different aggregates and then 2 different types of sand here, and we have a loader operator come in, pick them up, dump them in that hopper there, where then it takes and follows this conveyor all the way up down into 5 different silos in there.
These aggregates are making all kinds of different products, right?
Every single product we make here starts with these 4 aggregates. Here to make our products, we use different types of aggregates. And aggregates are pretty much defined as different types of stones, whether that's pea stone, limestone, or any sort of material that takes rock form.
So aggregates gets dropped into the hopper, comes up the conveyor belt.
Yep, that's exactly
right. And then
right.
you land them in here, and then they set in here until you're ready to
There's actually another conveyor up there that will guide it into the individual silos. So each one of these silos only have certain products in them. What's really nice about having them inside is we can make them any time of the year now with consistency. At some of our other sites, they're outdoors, and in the winter you see production suffer. So we get to make a lot higher quality product, a lot more efficiently. So here at this facility, we have opportunities to make product all year long. In the winter, it's very difficult to pour concrete because cement has an activation temperature where it actually cures and hardens. Here, it is all interior, so we can make it all year long. And once we're ready, the machine operator in the room up there will actually pull the different weights of the material. And there's a weigh belt here that pulls all the material down in.
So somebody's punching in 1,000 bricks, and then this thing kicks in.
Yep, we have preset batches which have weights and quantities. So it will follow this conveyor belt up and in. And you see that hopper there, that leads into a mixer. So it spins and mixes all that stuff together. Well, from there we add different chemical admixtures, water, and cement. So you don't see them here, but we have 3 cement silos outside. Total is 300 tons of cement because of the insane quantity that we go through each day. I mean, you can't have a truck keeping up that amount of usage every single day. And then this is the batching system that we were talking about, where it has all the colors that then feed into our color blends.
And then that gets blasted up.
And it gets blasted and mixed into our mixer.
How many different colors of bricks do you have?
We have potential to make as many different colors we want, but we actually have account managers that take orders that deal with customers, and we'll do custom blends, custom colors. We use color pigment. Our color pigment is essentially just iron oxide dyed to different colors, so you can maintain colors through a long period of time without it fading. So after we have all of our mixes, they then get poured onto this belt here in slow increments because the block press that we have only uses so much at a time. So it slowly dumps it onto that belt and we pour it into our press. This is a huge innovation step for us. We're gonna see great increase in our overall quantity that we can produce per year. We're gonna see just great increase in quality too, because we'll be able to maintain a lot of other things in a consistent basis. So we're not playing catch up with the weather, we're actually controlling the weather and controlling the settings that it goes into.
We were already surprised with how much automation had optimized their process. From preset batches to weighed conveyor belts, Consumers Concrete has brought revolutionary technology into Michigan, and you won't believe what Corey has to show us next.
We're always looking for ways to improve our safety everywhere we go. And one of the main things that we did to improve just overall health of our employees is trying to reduce sound. I mean, you guys, you've been here, you've heard how loud this machine runs. Well, this is actually in a completely enclosed, insulated room, whereas before, it was just all out on the open floor and you had to wear tons of hearing protection. And that's one of the main innovations that comes here is this control room. We have a nice quiet area for the machine to run, and you can watch all of production from here. So if you see any quality issues or anything that doesn't look good to your eye, you can stop it from up here and go address the issue. Yeah, so back to the press here. This is where our batches dump into our machine here. And from down here, you can actually see into the press, as we call it a mold. From here, you can see what the product look like, make sure they look good. And then we do have additional testing right outside that room there. There's lasers that check all the height of the block coming out. So if any of them are wrong, number will pop up on these screens here, and you can stop it, get rid of the bad block, and continue on your process. Whereas before, we were actually just using a visual check with like a steel plate with the height on it, hold it right up to the block, and make sure it was smooth all the way across.
It's a pretty efficient space.
It is, yes.
I mean, there's a lot that goes on here.
It was a long process, and actually this feels pretty roomy compared to our Wyoming facility because we have more equipment in a smaller area, but we really want it to be kind of a more open feel while still using every little inch of space.
Yeah. And so you're responsible for this whole thing.
Yeah.
So you have people that are learning alongside with you. You guys are raising the bar. I heard a lot about the team, and you guys are doing a lot of cross training.
One of the things that we've really been trying to push recently is cross training between all of our equipment, because we all have personal lives and people need to go and take time off when they need to. And what's the best way to prepare for that is make sure everyone can do as many things as possible so we're not stuck in a rut. So we've been really trying to encourage whoever wants to go to the classes that I went to go to those classes as well, get that additional training, get the information they need to know what to look for. And so we really do push hard training for all of our guys that want it.
It's amazing because, you know, as machines continue to take over the world in a lot of ways, like you're investing in your people, right? And
yes, we are.
Continue to raise the bar in the industry.
Yeah, and that was one of the main goals with getting all the additional robots out here. And we've actually taken the time to name each one. First one here is Maggie, because the big main robot in the middle with the grabber claw. And then those two robots, they are Terry and Teresa. Farther down, we have Stacy. Stacy picks up the blocks, stacks them onto the pallets once they've been organized. And then finally, we have Woody, and those were named by someone's daughter that actually works here.
It was amazing when Corey was showing us the machines in there. To think that those are making more advanced jobs now for people to work in factories. They gotta grow their knowledge, skill on how to run a machine.
Yeah, I think of like the higher education really that they're doing here at this plant facility is incredible.
We still have a lot of people visually doing checks on them because a robot can't always see the things that we can, and although there's lasers and all these things that help us with our quality checks, ultimately we still know what other people want. But if you'd like, we can do the last couple stops on our tour here so you can see maybe a little bit better of the dry product.
It's so clean in here.
It is very clean.
Doesn't feel like you're even in a factory.
Nope, no dust anywhere. So that's another one of the big pieces of innovation is we have all these tubes all around here. They're actually vacuums that suck up dust as the product moves down the line.
Okay. This is like state of the art. See a place so neat and clean.
For the workers too, especially, I mean, inhaling all of that dust over time cannot be good for you. So to see all the vent systems that they have set up and Corey showed us, like, it's incredible.
So back out here, this is where we do our visual quality check of our product after it's been cured. Usually it sits for about 24 hours before it goes out for either splitting or just general palleting. One of the main things we do here is split face block. You can see it's got a rough texture on there. This is a piece that breaks off to give it that look. So to get this look, you have to make a little bit extra to break it off to get the split face look, which is what our customers generally know us for. So then from here goes down. This is where Terry and Teresa organize it here, where they then push it all together and move it to Stacy, who picks them all up and stacks them on our pallets.
Unbelievable.
and it goes down this conveyor where it's wrapped or strapped. We have 2 different options depending on where the job site is, what kind of masons we're dealing with, or landscapers, what kind of product they have to move it around the job site, because not everyone has a forklift, or some people have skid steers. It depends on where they're at. So this gives us a good variety of capabilities to cater to our customers.
Yeah.
And then from there, it goes out and stocked in our yard and ready to sell to the customer. That is beginning to end how we make our concrete masonry units.
It was amazing to see all the advancements this facility has made. But the question remains, is it enough to meet the growing demands? Corey has our answer.
Each summer, we have our landscapers, and we have a short season. That's only from April to the end of November. So it's really important that we have the product in stock available at all times during that period. And with a facility like this, we are capable of producing 3 times as much product that a consumer might need.
Having the capacity of 3 times the previous facility is a leap that no other concrete corporation has made in the area, making Consumers Concrete a leader in the Michigan concrete industry.
In business, we oftentimes talk about 2xing, 5xing the product and the output. And so for Consumers Concrete to 3x their capacity to actually create these blocks and cure them is incredible.
Michigan's construction industry is growing. But as we saw today, Consumers Concrete's new block plant is more than just a response to that pressure. It's a vision for what the future of local manufacturing can look like. With expanded capacity, automation, and year-round curing capabilities, it's a rare example of a company pushing forward. Next, you'll hear some home improvement tips from our sponsors.
I'm here with Stuart from Northville Lumber, and today we're going to talk about the benefits a contractor gains from collaborating with a lumberyard. So welcome, Stuart.
Hi, Isabel.
Tell me, what are the benefits that a contractor gets from partnering with a lumberyard?
Well, you know, the business is a relationship business. And when you know someone at a lumberyard, or the lumberyard knows a contractor, there's all sorts of advantages that come from that relationship that trickle down to really the homeowner and the project.
Absolutely. And as a contractor that's partnered with you for many, many years, we've seen a lot of those benefits, like you mentioned, that really turn out the project to be a much better project for the homeowner.
When you develop these relationships, and there's a certain amount of trust that comes into that, and then things like referrals of customers or value-added services, that it's a lot easier to bring when you have that relationship with a contractor.
Yeah, so let's talk about some of those. What are some of the ways that lumberyards support contractors?
Well, the fact that we can help them with their estimating for the materials to be used in a project. We can help them with delivery. We help with installation from time to time. Things of that nature really help support that relationship.
And then what about, just some value add services? I mean, I know there's so many intangibles that you gain from partnering, that we've gained from partnering with Northville over the years. So what are some of those?
Well, we can help with training your staff, both on a sales and installation standpoint. We can help with project design. We can help with that list of materials that is so important to get the project started off on the right foot, as well as logistical challenges, getting the material where it needs to be, when it needs to be. Before starting your project, bring your plans to Northville Lumber. We can help you calculate materials, suggest tools and techniques, and offer expert advice. This simple step can save you time, money, and prevent costly mistakes during your home improvement journey.
I'm here with Devin from Paul Davis Restoration. And Devin, today I'd love to hear from you about water damage. What are some of the most common ways that you see homes damaged by water these days?
Yeah, we see a lot of sump pumps, after a storm. When we get a ton of rain, we see a lot of groundwater. In the winter, we start seeing a lot of broken pipes when we get below those freezing temperatures.
Yeah, and what are some ways that a homeowner can prevent that water damage from happening?
Well, yeah, you want to make sure your gutters are clean. You want to make sure you rake the leaves away because they hold a lot of moisture. You want to check your sump pump yearly. It's recommended to be replaced every 5 years, but it's always good to check, especially when we have a big rainstorm coming in. Yeah. You want to pay attention to all those things. In the winter, you want to make sure your home is kept above appropriate heat, especially when you go out of town. You want to make sure someone's checking on the house and making sure nothing's happening.
Yeah, And then what should a homeowner keep in mind when it comes to water damage?
Yeah, a lot of people think with water damage that they can clean it up themselves. And then you can clean up some, but it's not always the case. So there's 3 categories of water. There's Cat 1, which is clean water. There's Cat 2, which is gray water. So I like to think of it as when you bathe or drink, but after. Cat 3 is sewage. So Cat 1, okay, you might be able to clean up yourself, but the Cat 2 and the Cat 3, that's when it really gets tricky. You want to make sure you have someone prepared and experienced, and they really know what they're doing to make sure it's sanitary after, you clean it up.
Yeah, so really you'd recommend that a professional comes out and takes a look at.
Yeah, especially for Cat 2 and Cat 3.
Okay, amazing. Well, thanks so much, Devin. Appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
I'm here with Luke from Acme Exteriors, and today we're going to talk about virtual estimates. So Luke, I know people want to get a price instantly these days, and so there's a lot of options out there, but how accurate are virtual estimates?
It's a great starting point for your project. It really gets you in the direction that you would need to know, where you're going to be at or around. So it's a fantastic tool. I think it's a good starting point for any homeowner that is looking to do a project that just doesn't know how to get started.
Absolutely. And then how does virtual pricing work?
So what you'll do is you'll go in and you'll put your address into whatever source you're using. It will pull in the square footage of your house for siding or roofing or anything like that, and it will essentially just spit out a price for you within a range. And it's a cool tool.
That's amazing. So all you need to know is your address, and then you can get an estimated range.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. And can a homeowner actually use this to plan their project out?
Again, it's going to be a starting point for their project, but I think it's always best to have a professional out to really get the exact details that they'd be looking to do and help guide them.
So it's a great starting point, but definitely still need to get the contractor involved. What's the difference between virtual estimates and then what you're going to experience with a contractor?
Well, the contractor is going to go through the different materials that you're looking to use and any variables that might be involved in the project that just is not part of that process yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what tools do you at Acme have to help a homeowner out?
If you go to our website, we actually have a platform that you can look into and start there.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Luke.
Thank you.
I'm here with John from Carpet Studio, and today we're going to talk about how they serve commercial clients. So welcome, John.
Isabel, glad to be here.
Awesome. So how do you serve commercial clients at Carpet Studio?
So we have a variety of ways to help the clients when they come in and they come to us, both commercial clients and Main Street commercial clients. We have measuring services. We also have design services to help them get to where they need to be in the space, their particular spaces.
Amazing. And then what kind of services do you offer those commercial clients? I'm thinking of products that you install that somebody could call you for help on.
Sure. So we have the full range of flooring products: tile, hardwood, vinyl, rubber floors. You run into those in the commercial spaces. So we really have the whole range there. And then through consultation, we can help them figure out what they need for their space.
Amazing. And then what about design services?
So design services, we have an in-house designer who can help pick colors if need be. We can bring those in and keep the conversation going and get them where they need to be. We also have estimating software that helps put the product in their space so they can visualize the product in their very own space.
And I understand that you're the commercial specialist, so if somebody reaches out to Carpet Studio for a commercial project, what can they expect?
So obviously you can stop in anytime or call and set up an appointment. One of the easiest ways is to get online, flooringamericalansing.com, click on the connect button, type in an email, and I'll follow up with you.
Incredible. Well, what else, John? Anything else to wrap up our conversation here?
I'd just like to welcome everybody in for our services.
Thank you so much. I'm here with Michael Flory, founder and CEO of Custom Built, and today we're going to talk about finding the right contractor for your project. So Michael, what should a homeowner look for in a contractor when they're going to hire for a project?
Most important is that they're a good fit for your project. So depending on the size,
the complexity of the project. I want to start there, and then you can kind of start sorting from there. Are you looking for a contractor just to build something? You already have a plan, or are you looking for something to help you design and build it? So once you have that figured out, then I would start looking at referrals, online presence. Are they creating content? Are they, what have they done in the local area? I think that's really important. Are they a local company? Because it's going to be the aftercare. If there's an issue, are they going to be around to take care of you? Are they responsive on the phone up front? When you call them, do they call you back? When they meet with you and they say, we're going to get you a quote, do they give you a time frame and follow through on that? Those are really important clues up front. If you're waiting up front, just wait until the project's in the middle of it.
And then what about actual questions that a homeowner can ask their contractor when they're in the dream phase and kind of figuring out what their project is going to look like and how the contractor works?
Yeah, I love open-ended questions. So ask your contractor some open-ended questions. How long have you been doing this? What types of projects have you done? When you've had what kind of major problems have you had in the past? How did you handle warranties? Some of those open-ended questions, and if contractor's like, oh, I never made a mistake, you might want to ask a few more questions and find out, because nobody's perfect. This industry we've built our company on making mistakes and then improving our process. So how many decks have they built? Because if they haven't built a lot of decks, they probably haven't made a lot of mistakes, and they don't know some of the ins and outs of the trade.
Amazing, thank you.
I'm out here with Brennan today at Consumers Concrete, and today we're going to talk about what you can expect when your ready-mix truck arrives on site.
Yeah, so the warm weather is finally here, which means it's time to get those concrete projects underway. Yeah. So as a homeowner, you might think it's time to kick back and relax and let your contractor handle everything, but there are certain things that the contractor will do, like form work, site preparation, but there's definitely certain things that a homeowner is responsible for as well.
Awesome. So what are some of those things that a homeowner is responsible for?
Number one is safety. We want you to prepare your contractor for any sort of hazards, whether that's a below ground hazard, whether that's a septic drain field, a basement that might be close to a path off the road to the job site location, or any overhead wires or awnings. We've got our ready-mix trucks like the one behind us. It's just over 13 feet. So we always say plan for 14 feet of clearance to allow our trucks in and out. And as you can tell, they're also relatively big. They're pretty heavy and quite beastly. They fully loaded, they weigh about 80,000 pounds. Wow. So about 40,000 in concrete, 40,000 pounds for the truck. So we try not to pull up onto driveways or anything after the curb, just because it's can be dangerous and we don't want anything to get broken. If you need to, we can, but we always would recommend either using a trailer pump or a boom pump to actually get the concrete into the location that's desired.
Awesome. So we're in the summer months. Is it too late for a homeowner to start their concrete project?
Absolutely not. We've got tons of time left to go. We've got 6 months before winter hits, so you've got plenty of time. Talk to us. We can get you in contact with the contractor and get things rolling.
Awesome. Thank you, Brennan.
I hope you've been enjoying the Design and Remodeling Show, where we talk all things expert insights and practical tips to help you transform the place you live into a home you love. We look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you for watching the Design and Remodeling Show with Custom Built. See you next week.